Nomadic cities are probably one of the biggest differences between Terra and our world, with the runner-ups being Oropathy and Animal Girls. But these massive metal beasts didn't just pop out of nowhere. Their existence comes with a reason, and that reason are catastrophes. And these two things are responsible for much of the world building in Arknights that we see today. So, what are they? This is the Arknights lore Compendium, and let's talk about Catastrophes, Catastrophe Messengers, and Nomadic Cities. Starting with catastrophes, they're the name given to the frequent natural disasters that plague Terra. These range from, but are not limited to, hurricanes, snowstorms, earthquakes, floods, and even meteor strikes. The difference between catastrophes and normal natural disasters is that not only do catastrophes ruin your day, they're also a vector for the spread of originium. Coming in contact with raw originium can give you oropathy. Taking Chernobyl, for example, the catastrophe left many of these originium crystals on the ground, which in turn caused many of those who survived the initial meteor shower to become infected, and those who didn't are still at a high risk. The details of what causes catastrophes is not known. It is said that while catastrophes bring originium, originium is also a factor in causing catastrophes. However, if we dig a little deeper and go back to a time before Arknights was released, we can find this interesting line in their Weibo promos. In the originium industrialization age where catastrophes are becoming increasingly common, if we go off of this line, which given that is from pre-release, may be retcon in the future, it would imply that the overuse of originium led to the increase of catastrophes. Which brings up the question, did catastrophes always exist? And if they did, why isn't Terra covered in originium? Again, pre-release lore can be a bit suspect, so take what I've said in the past 15 seconds with a grain of salt. With catastrophes being such a major problem, people had to figure something out. One solution they came up with are catastrophe messengers, people who specialize in predicting and tracking catastrophes. Keep in mind that catastrophe messengers aren't normal messengers. Messengers deliver things. Catastrophe messengers deal with catastrophes. Just like how we can track wind formations and predict earthquakes, catastrophes too have warning signs, a common one being catastrophe clouds that we've seen very often. Catastrophe messengers have their own internal network of intel, namely the contingency contract, where they release commissions to deal with catastrophes and their aftermath. Needless to say, this line of work is extremely dangerous, and tough luck if you accidentally contract oropathy. The other option of dealing with catastrophes are nomadic cities. They're essentially buildings on treads driven by originium engines, and follow a planned path around Terra. Their size can range from a small town to sprawling metropolises, and can incorporate farms, waterways, landship docks, generators, defensive armaments, and many more. Larger cities can be divided into separate sectors which are all self-sustainable and capable of independent movement, with the core city acting as a control center. While many of Terra's major cities are mobile, there are also places like Kirag and the tribes of Sargon where people still live in permanent settlements, either due to the area not being affected by catastrophes as much or due to not having access to the technology. Nomadic cities, as their name would suggest, are massive. The time it takes to disassemble into its sectors and move out can range from 2 to 8 weeks. Obviously, that's not nearly enough time when you got a catastrophe cloud over your head, so once again the catastrophe messengers come in. With their predictions, a city can plan to move weeks or even months in advance. However, this is a very taxing process, involving rerouting power from non-essential facilities and planning for the separation of the sectors, with people putting major parts of their life on hold to accommodate. If the catastrophe messenger did their job properly, all is well. But if there's a screw-up and there is actually no catastrophe, or even worse, they fail to predict a catastrophe, then, to put it nicely, people won't like that very much. If you like to travel and see the world, nomadic cities might be your thing. Though I don't think catastrophes are anyone's thing. So, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video.